a WikiVidi Documentaries production. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Enjoy. Joker, 2019 film. Joker is an upcoming American crime film based on the DC Comics character of the same name, distributed by Warner Bros. Pictures. It is intended to be the first film in a series of DC-based films separate from the shared DC Extended Universe. The film is directed by Todd Phillips from a screenplay he wrote with Scott Silver, and stars Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker, along with Robert De Niro, Zazie Beetz, Bill Camp, Francis Conroy, Brett Cullen, Glenn Fleshler, Douglas Hodge, Marc Maron, Josh Pais, and Shea Whigham. In Joker, a failed stand-up comedian is driven insane and becomes a psychopathic murderer. Phoenix had been interested in a low-budget character study-type film about a comic book villain since 2014. After deciding to de-emphasize the shared nature of the two, Warner Bros. And DC Films announced plans for a Joker-centered film in August 2017, with Phillips directing and producing, as well as co-writing with Silver. Martin Scorsese was also attached to produce, although he dropped out in July 2018 and was replaced by Emma Tillinger-Koskov. Principal photography began on September 10, 2018 in New York City, and is scheduled to eventually move to Jersey City and Newark. Joker is scheduled to be released on October 4, 2019. Development. In 2014, Joaquin Phoenix was interested in acting in a low-budget, character study-type film about a comic book villain like the Joker. Phoenix had previously declined to act in the Marvel Cinematic Universe because he would have been required to play the roles he was offered, like Doctor Strange, in multiple films. He did not believe his idea for a film should cover the Joker, however, as he believed that character had been depicted in a similar way before. Phoenix's agent suggested a meeting with Warner Bros. But Phoenix declined. After the successful release of Wonder Woman, DC Films decided to de-emphasize the shared nature of its DC Comics-based film franchise, the DC Extended Universe. DC Entertainment President Diane Nelson stated, "Our intention, certainly, moving forward is using the continuity to help make sure nothing is diverging in a way that doesn't make sense. But there is no insistence upon an overall storyline or interconnectivity in that universe. Moving forward, you'll see the DC movie universe being a universe, but one that comes from the heart of the filmmaker who's creating them." In August 2017, Warner Bros. And DC Films revealed plans for a Joker film separate from the two, with Todd Phillips directing and co-writing with Scott Silver, and Martin Scorsese co-producing with Phillips. The script draws inspiration from Scorsese's films Taxi Driver, Raging Bull, and The King of Comedy, as well as Alan Moore's graphic novel Batman, The Killing Joke. By September 2017, Warner Bros. Was considering casting Leonardo DiCaprio as the Joker, but by February 2018, Phoenix was Phillips' top choice for the role. Phoenix said when he learned of the film, he became excited, because it was the kind of film he was looking to make, describing it as unique and stating it did not feel like a typical studio movie. Following the disappointing critical and financial performance of Justice League, Walter Hamada replaced John Berg as the head of DC-based film production at Warner Bros. Hamada sorted through the various DC films in development, cancelling some while advancing work on others. The Joker film was expected to begin filming in late 2018 with a budget of $55 million, a fraction of the usual budget for a comic book-based film. The deal with Phoenix was finalized in July 2018. Pre-production. On July 10, 2018, immediately after Phoenix was cast, Warner Bros. Officially greenlit the film and titled it Joker. Warner Bros. Described the film as an exploration of a man disregarded by society that is not only a gritty character study, but also a broader cautionary tale. At this point, Scorsese left the project because of other obligations, and Emma Tillinger-Koskov replaced him, although he was later revealed to be an executive producer. It was also confirmed that the film would have no effect on Jared Leto's portrayal of the Joker in The Two, and it was expected to be the first in a new series of DC films unrelated to that franchise.
Warner Brothers was also, possibly, aiming for an R rating from the Motion Picture Association of America. The same month, Robert De Niro and Zazie Beetz were being eyed for supporting roles. Beetz was cast, and De Niro entered negotiations a month later. Frances McDormand declined an offer to portray the mother of the Joker, and Frances Conroy was in talks for the role. At the end of July, Marc Maron also joined the cast, and Brian Callen was cast as a comedian. Alec Baldwin was cast as Thomas Wayne on August 27, but dropped out 2 days later due to scheduling conflicts. Production began on September 2, 2018. Filming. Principal photography commenced on September 10, 2018 in New York City, under the working title Romeo. Shortly after filming began, De Niro, Brett Cullen, Shea Whigham, Glenn Fleshler, Bill Camp, Josh Pais, and Douglas Hodge were announced to have joined the film, with Cullen replacing Baldwin. Bradley Cooper also joined the film as a producer. The director of photography is Lawrence Sher, with whom Phillips had previously collaborated with for his Hangover films. On September 22, a scene depicting a violent protest took place in Brooklyn, although the station was modified to look like Bedford Park Boulevard. In late September 2018, filming of robbery scenes took place at the First Central Savings Bank in Astoria, Queens. Production moved to New Jersey afterward. Filming in Jersey City started on September 30, and shut down Newark Avenue, while filming in November will shut down Kennedy Boulevard. Filming in Newark will take place between October 13 and 16. Marketing. On September 16, 2018, Phillips posted the first picture of Phoenix in character on his Instagram feed. On September 21, he released test footage of Phoenix wearing clown makeup, with "Laughing" by the Guess Who accompanying the footage. Brought to you by WikiVidi Documentaries. Would you like to